So you have seen the thumbnail and you've clicked on this video because you are passionate about goat farming. Guys, my name is Henry from Success Inspiration Academy, and in this video, our director at our farm, Fresh Age Farms, is going to be taking you through a goat farming toolkit that he designed to assist you to take your goat farming operation to the next level by guiding your employees at the farm and allowing you to have an overview of what's going on with your goats and your project. So guys, at Success Inspiration, our passion is to inspire and empower entrepreneurs like yourself. Also to connect you to significant opportunities in career and business. So guys, man, before we get into the explanation of this toolkit, I need you to subscribe right now to the channel, hit the bell notification so you know next time we drop a video with regards to goat farming. I need you to like and comment on this video in terms of, what you think about the toolkit itself. So guys, man, let's jump into the video.
So basically, this is the first book that we are going to talk about. This is the goat farming yearly planner or year planner. So you can see it's a book like this that you can easily just send to the farm. And what we have actually done is all the months are actually labeled all the way for the 12 months in a year. And then all the activities that actually need to be done within the year are actually shown, as you can see there. So basically what you just do is you just come in, you enter the year, and then you actually enter the month, like April, May, June, July, August, so that for you, month one is this, because sometimes the calendar year is not always our year. So basically, we know that we mating starts by selection of the breeding stock, and in our case we select, and then we can actually now put the buck in there for 42 days, and then we know that the pregnancy goes, and then we know that just before kidding starts, it's important for one to actually vaccinate against pulpy kidney. And in our case, we vaccinate, both the pregnant and the non-pregnant does. So the month before kidding, we make sure that we separate the pregnant does, and so that they are by themselves. And then we also do this issue of vaccination. So we vaccinate against pulpy kidney. And this is important because we know that when you vaccinate, it means that when the kids come, when they start breastfeeding, that colostrum is going to have a lot of antibodies. So after that, we know that we always deworm after vaccination. So it's actually written in here. So we like to make sure that in the month that our doors are going to be kidding, we vaccinate, and then we also deworm them. It's important because sometimes if they get that nasal worm, it affects the smelling ability of the goat, and then that can actually lead to challenges in terms of it identifying its kids. So when the kidding starts, we know that kidding is starting in this particular month, and we know that kidding is starting in that month. So it helps our farm workers to be prepared. And then we know that after kidding, after a month, a minimum for 4 weeks, we actually vaccinate the kids now against pulpy kidney. And pulpy kidney, when we actually vaccinate in here, you will see that the book, it's got now more details. We use actually 2 vaccines, the first dose and then the second dose, given 2 weeks apart. So you know that in January, for instance, we are supposed to be vaccinating, and then you can actually plan. And then we make sure that before we win in March or in month 12, what we actually do is we make sure that a month before, we let the kids go grazing with the mothers. And then in the month that we're actually weaning, we actually inject the kids multivitamins to reduce that stress. So this is something that's simple, that if you put this at your farm, people know what they're supposed to be doing. And then I've got some notes here in terms of one, we have to spray that acaricide every week, and then we make sure that water is always available, and then feeds for a goat approximately about 2 kgs per day, if you are doing if they are not grazing. So that's the first book. And then the second book, this is a bigger book, as you can see. It's much bigger than the one that I had, and I'm just going to explain how this book works. So can you see? So when we receive a kit, we actually are tagging our goats. So we actually indicate the code here in terms of our tag. Our coding, whatever coding system you're using at your farm, it's important to have it there. And then we actually indicate the date of birth as well in there. And then we actually indicate the code of the buck or the buck that fathered that kid. We actually also indicate the code of the door that fathered that mothered that kid. And then we actually indicate if this was born with other siblings, meaning if this goat was actually born and they were twins, we actually indicate that there was one sibling or there were 2 siblings. We indicate there. Then we indicate the birth weight in this column. Then we indicate, so after 1 week, the guys at the farm now know that they have to actually measure and see after 1 week what's the weight gain, and then week 2 what is the weight gain, 3, 4, and then after the first 4 weeks, which are the most critical, we then now look at week 8. So the reason why we put after the first 4 weeks is the issue to do with this is a critical time, and when you don't see your goat gaining or the gain is reduced, you know that there is something wrong. And then week 8, this is about 2 months, and then the weaning weight is at 12 weeks. So we actually look at that. And then after weaning, we then just the other weight that we look at is the weight at which we have sold the goat, and then the date when we sold it, the age at selling, and then also the selling price. So you can see that anyone at the farm, all this information is going to be there. It will help us to make decisions to see if our regime is working. And then we're now going into more detail. Remember, the yearly planner talked about pulpy kidney vaccination. And now, so per goat now, once you vaccinate the goat, you actually then come here and indicate the date that you vaccinated. Suppose you vaccinated on the 10th of June 2022. So indicate that I gave the first dose then, and then if the second dose is supposed to be 2 weeks later, then you indicate the dose. So there is no this business of making of no one remembers when they actually injected a goat. So all the history is actually there. And then this is for the kids. And then the ones, supposing this was a doe and she was pregnant, you then just indicate that pulpy kidney dose that we've given in pregnancy. Yeah, I've left an option to give 2, because sometimes if you stock up, you probably need to give them 2 doses. But if these are goats that are already and have been vaccinated before, 1 dose a year is fine. So we then look at deworming. So basically, each time that you actually deworm your goats, you can actually indicate here the date that you have actually dewormed. And then we've got things like multivitamins that we give at weaning. We can actually indicate the date there as well. And then in case the goat gets sick, you can actually indicate the kind of antibiotic that you gave, the dose, the route, the reason, the frequency. So you can look at antibiotic 1, 2, and then a key area now is the pregnancy history. So remember, all this line, we've got the goat code right here. So we know all the history of that goat, whatever medication we gave it, and then the pregnancy history. Now we can look at the number of kids that goat has given us. So each time it gives you a kid, you can just indicate to say 1, and then it gives you another one, you can just indicate 2, 3, 4. If it's 5, then like this, that's how we'll be indicating. And then you look at also if it has given you multiple pregnancies, and you can even indicate here that yes, each time it does that, you actually indicate. And then you look at weaning weight of its kids, and then you actually write here. And then if there are any birth complications and other things. So basically, with this kind of record keeping, the guys at the farm are empowered. You are also empowered. Everyone knows what they're supposed to do and when they're supposed to do it. And you've got a complete history of your goals. It helps you to make decisions in terms of which ones to sell, which ones to keep. And then the last book that I'm going to talk about is the Fattening one. So we had the idea of actually just buying goats, fattening them, and then selling them off. So we designed a simple book for that. And one question, stocking up is difficult. And let me just add that new food should always be introduced very, very slowly. So this one now is just looking at the weight gain and the critical things that one would need to do for fattening. And for goats, people can fatten for 60 days. And the results would actually be quite good. So when your goats come, you indicate the code, you indicate the cost price, how much you actually bought it for, and then you indicate the weight at arrival, and then you indicate the weight at 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, up until 8 weeks, and then you indicate the selling price there. And then also you actually indicate we give multivitamins on arrival. So once the goat is arriving here, once you give it the multivitamins, you actually write the date here. And then also remember the critical thing is also pulpy kidney on arrival. You give the first dose and then the second dose. So basically, one is if you've got this, you are able to actually see the price at which you bought your goat for and the selling price. And if you're actually feeding them on zero grazing, you can actually estimate the cost of your feed and then see if it's being profitable.
So guys, if you found any value in the toolkit, what I need you to do right now is to purchase the toolkit. The link is in the description below. For only $10 you're gonna get all 3 of these books, man. For only $10, and you can purchase these books via PayPal, your MasterCard, or your Visa card for only $10 today, and we're gonna send it straight to your email, electronic copy, and you can print it out, send it to the farm, keep one, do what you have to do. And guys, before you go, please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you know next time we drop a video with regards to goat farming, and also like and comment what stood out for you in this video. So guys, have an awesome day. Cheers, bye bye.